Welcome to An Author's Dream. I'm your host, Bridget Kennedy. Characters are so real to their authors that sometimes we have conversations with them in our head. And this is my Chibi character that I like to think is Catalina.
I'm too cute for corporate pain. Where's my rich husband? Where's my champagne?
Here's the story on how my grandma Catalina came to me in a dream.
Ow! Write the book. You hit me with a sword. Flat side. Grandma Catalina? Sure, let's go with that. 5 books. Let's go.
Prologue, The Last Morning, Arequipa, Peru, 1810. The alpacas were Catalina's favorite part of morning chores. She pressed her nose against the wooden fence, watching them drift through the mist like fuzzy ghosts. The smallest one, she named him New because he was cloud white, trotted over and snuffled her outstretched palm. "Careful, Cat," Robby called from the orchard, protective. "He's always hungry like me. He'll nibble at your fingers if you're not watching." She giggled. "He's just saying good morning," she said. Her brother appeared through the rows of avocado trees, a basket overflowing with fruit balanced on his hip, his golden hair catching the early light. "Come on, let's get breakfast. I'm starving." The hacienda's kitchen buzzed with voices and laughter. Slipping through the doorway, Cat paused to take it all in. Uncle Fernando chuckling, the whole family in high spirits from Da's shenanigans, as he waved his coffee cup for comic effect. And there in the center of it all, Mom calling, "There's my girl," with arms open wide. Hurrying into her mom's embrace, Cat breathed in the familiar scent of lavender from Aunt Aurora's post-party flowers as her mother's laugh rumbled through her chest. Her mother squeezed her tight and pressed something into her palm, a silver charm on a beaded chain that Cat had always admired. "But Mom, this is your necklace." "And now it is yours. This has passed from mother to daughter for generations, an Incan symbol for family. When you wear it, your ancestors will always be close to your heart." Cat traced the outline of the charm, a plus sign with extra corners near the center. "But my family is here at the hacienda." "Family is wherever you carry them." Her mom's eyes glistened. "You'll understand someday," she added. Something in her mother's voice made Cat pause. Not sadness exactly, certainty. As if she's always known this moment would come. Patrick came running into the kitchen, thumb in his mouth, tears streaming down his 4-year-old face, and joined the hug. "Patrick, what's wrong?" "Don't go." His voice was so small. "Please don't go, Cat." She knelt on the tile, pulling him close. "It's just for a little while, a big adventure across an ocean. We'll bring you back stories." "Promise?" "I promise." She kissed his forehead. He clutched her skirts with tiny fists. "Don't leave me," he said. His pleading words shattered her heart. Out by the carriage, Da called out that they were late, alerting her that it was time to leave. She gently peeled back Patrick's fingers away, each one a small betrayal. "Be good for Mom and Da," she whispered, "and give Poppy an extra hug for me every day we're gone." Not looking back as she climbed into the coach, she held back her tears, clutching her new charm, the metal warming her palm. Next to her, Robby asked in an uncertain voice, "We'll be back soon, right, Da?" Their father stared into the carriage from the opposite window, his jaw tight. "Aye, son. As soon as ye both finish your trainin', make the Kennedy clan proud." The hacienda disappeared behind them, white stones swallowed by the distance and dust. Cat didn't know that soon would stretch into 15 years. Didn't know that their letters would stop. Didn't know that treasure would become an obsession, that one expedition would lead to another, or that Ireland would become home while Peru faded into memory. The carriage rolled toward the harbor, toward Ireland, toward a future that would take everything and leave only questions. The prologue allowed me to showcase the hacienda, the grandeur, and everything it was before Cat and Robby went to Ireland. It allowed me to highlight the family bonds, the laughter, the giggles, the comedic effects of Dawes shenanigans, the warmth and the love of their mother. It allowed me to introduce Uncle Fernando and Aunt Aurora and mention the fact that they had a post-party event. So this was the next morning after their big farewell party before they send the kids off to Ireland to study in the family tradition, the clan tradition of Master of Blades, and get to know their Irish family, their grandparents, the clan's tradition, the where their roots came from. I thought it was very important to establish all these family bonds and the connection and how happy and peaceful the hacienda was. Because later in my story, when Cat and Robby returns, the hacienda is not the same. There's people missing, laughter is gone, and it takes quite a bit of a turn. It is heartbreaking, especially when you see and read the contrast between the prologue and then when Cat and Robby does return to Peru at the end of part 1. I describe the hacienda in the book as a grand house with a large veranda in the front. It has an open center courtyard, wrought iron staircases. It's sitting on top of a large plantation, a fertile plantation with orchards of avocado trees, mango trees, herds of alpacas, and in the wedding photos of Eudocia and Robert, you can actually see the background. So you can see like the red velvet curtains. You can see the lushness of the land behind them. The chandelier, the hand-carved chair she's sitting in, the tile floor. These are all very luxury things. So the Rodrigues family, the hacienda, was very wealthy, and that's why I describe the hacienda in such grandeur. Robby is described as the protective older brother, always hungry. Their father, Robert Patrick Kennedy, is described here, causing shenanigans, waving a coffee cup in the air. I wanted to establish a little bit of his character because in the novellas, in the love story, where I describe how Robert and Eudocia fell in love. When he first arrives to Peru, he discovers Peruvian coffee, the flavor, the aroma, the caffeine high, and he overindulges and has quite a few cups of coffee. So it becomes a little bit of his personality and his kink. Patrick is showcased as a 4-year-old boy, still sucking his thumb. He knows that Cat and Robby are leaving for some time, and he's very connected to them. He's a very loving, cuddly child, and he attaches to Cat in a big way. And when she's about to leave, he grabs onto her skirts. And one of my favorite lines in this book, something that's just heartbreaking for me, is when she gently peeled Patrick's fingers away, each one a small betrayal. Because she knows that she's going to another land across an ocean. It's going to be a long time. And when she tells him it's just going to be a short while and that they'll bring him back stories, and she peels each one of his little fingers off, she is actively letting him go and preparing to leave. And just that precious moment in there and her action of what she's actually doing. It shows how much has grown, and she realizes what she's about to embark on, and how she still wants to protect Patrick by not telling him the full truth, but just like, we're going to be back soon. A lot of people ask me, well, they're Peruvian. How come Robby and Cat has blonde hair? Well, here is a photograph of the actual Catalina Kennedy and Robert Kennedy. And as you can notice, all of their family looks very Peruvian, but they both have blonde hair. So it was really stemming from my own actual family history, how I wrote the characters and described them. The prologue also allowed me to introduce the talisman, with the scene of Cat's mom, Eudocia, handing this to Cat, because Eudocia feels that this might be the last time she sees her children, Cat and Robby, and this family necklace has to be passed down from woman to woman throughout the generations. She knows that they're traveling, and she wants to keep them safe. And she also knows that her family bloodline, the Rodrigues family, carries a protective magical element, and it also lives in this talisman. So when in the audiobook, when this moment happens, you'll hear a mystical chime that kind of alerts that something is more interesting about this necklace than just the design. Towards the end of the prologue, Da is standing outside of the carriage with Robby and Cat already inside, and Robby is just looking for reassurance from his father that this is just going to be a short period of their life. They're all going to return to the hacienda. Everything will come back to normal. And, the dad, he knows that this is a long journey, but it's an important journey so that they can discover their family and their Irish heritage. And most importantly, the big thing is train as masters of blades, which does take a number of years to do. And so the Da, he knows this. He wants to wish them well. And I wanted to put in there, make the Kennedy clan proud, because this is going to be Da's side of the family, the Irish side, that clan. And the proud part comes from, I know you're going to become a master of blade. I know you're going to be able to do this, son.
Here is the cover for Untold, the novella companion series to Lost. You can see Cat and Robby at their young age traveling to Ardmore.
I close out the prologue with, I think, very powerful passages, which kind of foretells what's going to happen throughout book one. The hacienda disappeared behind them. White stone swallowed by distance and dust. Cat didn't know that soon would stretch into 15 years. Didn't know their letters would stop. Didn't know that treasure would become an obsession, that one expedition would lead to another, or that Ireland would become home while Peru faded into the memory. The carriage rolled toward the harbor, toward Ireland, toward a future that would take everything and leave only questions. Very powerful, because it does foretell so much that's going to be happening to Cat and Robby in the future, and it really does take everything away from them. And when you have something so powerful as your family, your memories, your love, your laughter taken away from you, how does one rebuild from that? How does one come back from that kind of sadness and disaster that's going to happen to them? It is a very powerful ending, one that foretells what's going to happen to Cat and Robby at the end of part 1 and all of part 2. And I think the lesson is, when you have everything taken away from you, how do you rebuild? How do you find that resilience to keep going? And the book really showcases that strength that they have to learn to live with and to grow and to earn their right to move forward in the book. I have been waiting for this part of the episode. I am so excited. It is unboxing time. I have been told that this is one of my new merch shirts, and it's going to have Chibi characters on it. So excited to see. Oh my goodness, they're so adorable. Oh my gosh, y'all. Okay, I'm going to have to show you. Look how cute they are. Oh my goodness, there's Robby, Cat, Patrick, Maria, and Bastian. And the wordage is, "We're Kennedys, we don't break." How perfect is that? Oh, I cannot wait to wear this all the time. Next week, join me for a new episode of An Author's Dream. Like and subscribe.